Yes, sir.
All right. The topic that we will be discussing today is animal cloning for food consumption by human beings. So a little bit of information about cloning. Clones are genetic copies of an animal, says Larissa Rudenko, PhD, a molecular biologist and senior advisor for biotechnology at CDM. They're similar to identical twins, but born at different times. Cloning can be thought of as an extension of the assisted reproductive technologies that livestock breeders have been using for centuries, such as artificial insemination, and more recently, embryo transfer and in vitro fertilization. Animal cloning has been around for more than 20 years. Most cloning today uses a process called somatic cell nuclear transfer, SCNT. Scientists take an egg from a female animal, often from the ovaries at a slaughterhouse after they were dead, and remove the gene-containing nucleus. The nucleus of a cell from an animal the breeder wishes to copy is added to the egg. After other steps in the laboratory take place, the egg cell begins to form into an embryo. The embryo is implanted in the uterus of a surrogate dam, usually a female parent, which carries it to term and delivers it on her own son. The first animal clone was a tadpole, and then a remarkable breakthrough happened when Dolly, a sheep, was cultivated from an adult embryonic cell. Dolly was deemed 5 years of age when she was born and survived for another 6 years, so literally she was 11 years old. Animal cloning has been federally researched for 6 years by the Food and Drug Administration. The administration published an article in 2008 called Animal Cloning and Food Safety. In this article, the administration provided information stating that the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, gave right to the food companies to run cloned products as regular products are sold without labeling. Basically, what I'm trying to advocate is that animal cloning for food should only be used, or animal cloning for food supply to the public is unjust, inhumane, and against religion, and should be illegal. My first claim is about public opinion. The American Anti-Vivisection Society, the AAVS, published a survey in 2008 that contained about 100,000 of America's comments. Basically, in this survey, they asked a series of questions regarding cloning the animals and using them for food. 88% disapproved of cloning animals for food when they learned that cloning involves animal suffering. 66% are uncomfortable with animal cloning. And so on. There's a bunch of ratios and percentages that basically say that the majority of Americans are against cloning for animals for food consumption. The FDA, which conducted the research affirming that animal cloning was safe, never provided explanation of the ethical issues involved. When humans decide to create a living animal without the use of insemination, it poses a threat on religious groups and animal activists. This then causes the debate of science versus religion. The religions that are currently against animal cloning, or the religious groups, are Protestants, Catholics, Hindus, Jews, Buddhists, and Muslims. A survey taken by the National Census in 2008 providing the information to allow me to come to the conclusion that 47% of the listed religions make up the United States. This then poses the assumption that almost the majority of the U.S. believes strongly that cloning animals should not continue. This doesn't include other humans that aren't religious-based. My next claim states that there is not enough research to finalize this decision. Animal cloning is a new technology which potentially serves a severe risk for food safety. Defects in clones are common, and cloning scientists warn that even small imbalances in clones could lead to hidden food safety problems in clones, milk, or meat. There are few studies on the risks of food from clones, and no long-term food safety studies have been done. Numerous opinion polls show that the majority of Americans do not want food from clones and are opposed to cloning on moral and ethical grounds. The FDA's Veterinary Medicine Advisory Panel disapproved of the FDA's analysis that they published in 2008, declaring that not enough research has been done to determine whether food derived from cloned animals is safe. In fact, livestock cloning raises numerous health and ethical concerns. Over 90% of cloning attempts fail in cloned animals that are born have more health problems and higher mortality rates than sexually reproduced animals. Given that researchers do not understand many of the health problems that arise throughout the life cycles of cloned animals, the FDA acted irresponsibly in assuming that foods produced from these animals are safe for humans to eat. According to Ian Wilmot, the leader of the team of scientists that cloned the sheep Dolly, determined in 2008, after the FDA published their article, that the health impacts of food derived from clones must be based on animals' complete health profiles, which usually takes about 10 to 12 years to study, and such studies have not been done. My next claim states that cloning is too expensive and cannot provide enough food to the market inexpensively. The New York Times stated in a published article in 2008, after the FDA published the article, that cloning an animal can cost about $20,000, much too expensive to make an animal just for its milk or meat. That would make about a $100 hamburger. My fourth claim is solvency to the issue. First topic is food safety. The safety of food products from human consumption as a precondition for their marketing must be guaranteed, and scientific updates and follow-up research into progeny should be carried out. Another topic is animal welfare. Further studies and analysis on long-term animal welfare and health implications for clones and their offspring, as well as more comparative analysis with other assisted and traditional reproductive technologies in animal farming, should be carried out for a proper assessment of this issue. In line with the American Food Safety Association, the AFSA, draft opinion, the FDA should take initiative to prepare a code of conduct on responsible farm animal breeding, including animal cloning. The FDA should take proper measures to preserve the genetic heritage of farm animal species, for example, by funding projects that aim to preserve the domesticated breeds in America and to promote sustainable agriculture. So basically, in conclusion, I propose that cloning animals for food should be